Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, head of the Walt Disney Company.
By the late 1990s, Walt Disney Television wanted to revive the wonderful world of Disney on ABC. Disney's CEO at the time, Michael Eisner, wanted the programming block to come back in a big way, so he reached out to the dynamic team of Zayden and Marin for ideas. The two producers had relocated their company, Storyline Entertainment, from CBS to Disney Studios and quickly suggested Cinderella with Whitney Houston, and Michael Eisner immediately greenlit the project. Whitney agreed with the producers that Cinderella required a certain naivete, and that's just not there when you're 30-something.
I knew there was someone who was a lot more full of energy for that kind of stuff than I was. I mean, I'm a little jaded on the energy level. Like, I mean, you know, you have kids and stuff, you know, and, you know, you get kind of like, you know, slow down a little bit.
So the producers offered her the role of Cinderella's fairy godmother instead. After discussing it with producer and friend Deborah Martin Chase, they both agreed that it was the right direction, as they knew that everyone still had images of Diana Ross, who was a little old to be playing Dorothy in the film adaptation of The Wiz in 1978. Whitney then suggested the role of Cinderella be played by Brandy Norwood.
Did you make the phone call to Brandy?
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
All I can remember was, ah! You know, I remember that.
Yeah.
Mama, she wants me to play Cinderella.
She called me one day all hype, and I was like, what's going on, Whitney? And she was like, I got this project. Deborah and I have this project, and we want you to do this movie called Cinderella, and we want you to play Cinderella. And I said, I thought you were gonna be Cinderella. She's like, I'm 33 now. I'm not quite feeling like Cinderella. No, honey, I'm not gonna be Cinderella. I want you to be Cinderella. And I started screaming. I ran around the house. I told my mom, I said, Mom, Whitney wants to do this. She said it under one condition, that I was her fairy godmother.
Brandy was already on her way to becoming a major star in the music and television industry. She made her music debut in 1994 in a hit TV show called Moesha on UPN.
Whenever she enters a room, cameras flash. Whenever she smiles, television screens brighten. Because every time you see her, it's like seeing Brandy for the first time.
Everybody say Moesha!
Brandy's back.
Brandy was also a big fan of Whitney's, and it was even more clear when they finally met in 1995.
Hey, baby girl!
Only extra with this amazing video, the superstar surprising her biggest fan.
Where you going? Don't you start crying and carrying on and stuff. Come here with your little pretty self. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. Yeah, oh, look at you. How you handle it all, huh? Let's go. Come on, let's go and sit there.
Whitney believed that Brandy possessed the energy and wonder to play Cinderella convincingly, admitting that their fictional relationship as godmother and goddaughter translated well on screen because it started from real life.
She has often called me her mentor, which is flattering. She said, darling, this is Cinderella.
E.T. was there for a little history in the making, as Whitney Houston and Brandy sang together for the very first time, teaming up for their upcoming TV musical, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella.
Hope's impossible. Things are happening every day. Impossible. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I just got chills.
For Brandy, this was her own personal fairy tale come true.
When I first released my album, her name was like in all of my interviews. She's standing next to me. She's standing.
This is a very, very historical moment, though.
For me. I'm
No,
standing
baby,
next to you.
I'm the fairy godmother, and that's kind of cool.
Isn't that cool?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're the perfect Cinderella, and I'm your fairy godmother.
A true Cinderella story. Brandy had already made it known that Cinderella was her favorite fairy tale, and when Whitney called her to play the title role, she was more than excited.
The pairing of these two soulful songbirds even had Whitney flying.
Well, I'm your godmother. I ain't
So
fairy.
does this mean that I can do another movie with you?
We'll talk about that.
But the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules.
I have an idea. You do a Whitney Houston life, and I'll be with
Oh, no.
That is perfect.
Now that we ain't doing, girlie.
No. Impossible.
Impossible. Impossible.
That was it. That was good.
That was it. That was it. That was happening.
Brandy knew this would be a historic moment in her life as she became the first person of color to play Cinderella on screen, as well as Whitney being the first black actress to play the role of fairy godmother in the classic tale. The closest this had come to happening before was back in 1978 when an all-black modern-day retelling of Cinderella premiered on ABC called Cindy.